Hello, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday, it is, right? Yes, we are on day 4 of the 4-day seminar. So excited to be here. It's our last day. I can't believe it. The past 3 days just flew by. I have had wonderful conversations with a lot of you guys on here. I'm very happy that the information that I'm sharing is resonating with you and that you are starting to feel inspired and motivated to maybe change things up a little bit and maybe to implement some new things that you haven't tried before. But what has also become extremely clear throughout the past 3 days and having these conversations with everybody is that a lot of you in here actually do have a lot of knowledge. So, you guys know a lot about nutrition. You guys have learned and did your own research on supplementation, on functional medicine, whether it's tests, whether it's modalities, whether it's information about like even the microbiome and how all of that relates to our health. So, I got a lot of feedback that tells me, it was really interesting and thank you for explaining things and it really opened my eyes. However, the information wasn't brand new. So I have heard this information before and I have been doing these things with my practitioner on my own and it just doesn't work. So it just doesn't get me to where I want to be. And this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about a little bit today. Because so there's two things to that I want to say. So number one, what I believe people are thinking or women are thinking, I was in that position myself. When I think back to the days when I was in the midst of it, the fatigue was so severe that I wasn't able to look after my girls properly. My brain fog was so crazy that I put down my car keys, turned around, and didn't remember where it was. I couldn't remember things. I had trouble putting words together in my mouth. It was just like the constant brain fog was all encompassing. Fatigue was all encompassing. The joint pain that I had and my skin, my eczema, when you are in the midst of it and you are looking into the nutrition world and the natural way of doing things because the medication itself are just not helping you enough, you believe that, or I at least thought that once I change these things, um, in the right way, I will see quick results. And I was really thinking that, when I take the right supplementation and when I eat the, right foods, I will see, um, I will see changes that come on very quickly. And I was getting very frustrated because I was doing the right things and I didn't see any change. So here's the thing that trips us up is that number one, it takes time. When you are doing the right things with nutrition and lifestyle changes, it is not a quick fix. It is not something that you do overnight and then it changes everything in your body. Because what you're doing is you're creating a new life with new habits. You're creating a new life with new foods that your body has to get used to that you haven't done in a while. So it's the whole regeneration of your cells and of your body is going to take time. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. So that is number one. Number two, what I see is that people are consuming like we just did like we on day 4 of the 4-day seminar. And a lot of you guys have been consuming the information and you have been thinking, okay, I've heard that before. I've heard that before. Um, but then you stop there. Then you stop there. You don't go the next step and actually implement. and actually take this information and make it work for you. Maybe you do it for a little while and then you get off track, right? Because our old habits kick in. That's the thing with the patience. That is the thing with we have to rewire our brain a little bit in order to support ourselves on our new journey. We have to do things very differently, which is scary, which is fearful. And I'm going to be talking about all of these points today. Um, and so we trip ourselves up over it, and then we go back into old habits. And then we say these things don't work. Or we say, I have done these things and it's just my case is complicated. My case doesn't work that way. It's the doing. You will have to start doing the things that you consume in terms of information. You will have to lean into your body. You have to become intuitive with what your body is telling you, what you need to do on each of those pillars that we have discussed in the past 4 days, and the fourth one, which we'll be discussing today. You have to lean into your body, you have to listen to your body, and you will have to then take action. So I think this is really the difficult part of it, um, for for us to stay on track and to make things work. Because if we're just consuming information and we're reading all, social media and we're reading our books and we're reading all the research, we get stuck in that and then we're not doing the things. So that is really what I see is a big roadblock for a lot of women that I have been speaking with. They just don't know how to start. They just don't know how to implement these things. And that's the gap. That is the gap in our in our world right now for when we talk about chronic illness support. That is the gap because we're being told the methodologies, we're being told the strategies, we are being told the template protocols, we're being told the supplements, we're being told what not to eat, what cut out, what to exclude, and then we're left to our own devices, so to speak. And then we are doing these things, but then we fall off track. Does that make sense? I think this is really what I sense, and this is why I always leave the mindset piece to autoimmune health for the very last day, because I do want to give you, some strategies and some tools and methodologies and all of these things and how the body works with the nutrition and how the stress response works and affects your body and how detoxification pathways works and all of these things I want to give to you first. But then I want to encourage you on day 4 to actually put these pieces into action. And for that, we need to have a sound mindset. And I can tell you, I was actually recording my podcast, my new podcast episode this morning around this topic as well. In that I share the 10 steps on how to become healthy with an autoimmune from a mindset perspective. Is that um, I was recording that this morning and I was really thinking about the conversations that I've had over the past 3 days and how our mindset can honestly overwrite all of our actions. So I will give you my own personal, story or a little bit of an insight in how it has, shifted everything for me. So I was doing all of the things. So almost 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's as well as PCOS. I was having a very, very, very difficult time with my body. Basically all of my, systems in my body were off. Like I had everything you can ever think of. I had candida, I had bacterial overgrowth, I had severe fatigue, brain fog. I had was dealing with infertility, extremely painful periods after not having periods for 2 years. I was having adult acne. I was having eczema. I was having severe allergies, environmental allergies, as as well as severe food sensitivities, like you name it, I had it. And so I was starting to do the things. I worked with a naturopathic doctor, and I went back to the nutrition school, and which was eye opening for me. And I was then able to implement these things, really understand how my body works, implement these things, be consistent with it. All of the steps I'm going to be telling you today. However, I will say that the what I call quantum leap in my health, the absolute shift to remission and the shift into feeling healthy, like with my symptoms being almost non-detectable anymore, that I felt like a completely new person. And that only came with when I started to work on my mindset. When I started to work on my mind, when I shifted the perception of me and the perception of how my past history has has had such a huge impact on my body falling apart, my personal trauma, my personal issues, my personal stress triggers, but also not only that, but also how I view and my future with an autoimmune disease. So I see that there is a lot of fear around what is my future going to look like? Like, am I doomed? Am I just going to be going down the route of going from one autoimmune to the next, or will my body like deteriorate more quickly? Will I be able to look after my children? All of these thoughts um, are coming up, and so shifting the whole mindset around how you view yourself and how you allow your disease to rule your life versus you are being in control of it is a game changer. It's a game changer. And so that is why I put together this session for you guys on day 4 of the last day of the seminar, and I hope it's going to be very helpful for you and you will be taking a lot of stuff away from it. So let's get started. If you guys registered, you will have the workbook handy. So I don't have it here right now because I know exactly what's in it. But there is on day 4, you will see there's basically a worksheet that gives you the different layers to creating a healthy mind that allows you to create autoimmune health from a mindset perspective. And I will be going through each layer of it with you guys. And then you can let me know in the comments if this resonates with you and if you have done work around this. I'd really like to know and see if this resonates with you. Please share any comments with me. I'd love to have a conversation with you on this topic. This is really for you. So I love to have the engagement and let me know who you are and give me a hello in the way in the chats and just yeah, let me know what you think. Okay. And then we go ahead and get started. So the first layer to increasing, autoimmune health from a mindset perspective is acceptance. It's the very, very first layer. And if we are not accepting ourselves with this disease, we are we can't fully recover and repair and heal our bodies. What do I mean by acceptance? So I was thinking back of when I was diagnosed, and I was actually in a state of number one, shock. First of all, I was shocked. And then number 2, I was in disbelief. And number 3, I was then going into rebellion. I said, okay, I'm not gonna go let this disease rule me, which is great. But I was so focused on, getting rid of it. I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to have nothing to do with it. I didn't accept the fact. I didn't want to accept the fact that I am having to deal with a chronic inflammatory disease right now at 32 back then. I wasn't, I said, no, I'm just going to go back to normal. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to go back to normal. And then that is where I am. And that is when my life comes back. However, what I have learned, and it was it was a very long process for me, and I see that with a lot of my clients too, is the acceptance of you don't have to accept the fact that you're feeling unwell. No way, absolutely not. But you will have to accept your body for what it is. And with a chronic disease, right, at this moment in time in our lives, there is no quote unquote cure for it. So we will have to learn to manage it. We will have to learn to love our bodies for it and with it. We'll have to learn to accept the fact that we are having these imbalances in our bodies, that our bodies have created these imbalances, and we will have to learn to love our bodies for it and to support our bodies through it and to make sure that our bodies are able to handle it long term and manage it long term. So we cannot look at it from a negative perspective. If we start to look at things in our body and our health from a negative perspective, there's fear settling in, and then there is like destructive behavior patterns coming in. So we'll have to accept it. That is the number one. And if you have to grieve over it, that is what you have to do. That is what I had to do. I had to sit with it for the longest time and just grieve and just cry my eyes out and just be so unhappy that this is happening to me. I had to go through this really deep valley of, you know what? It's really bugging me. And that's okay. That's okay. The second layer of it is vision. So you have to create, once you're done with the acceptance, like once you're in a place where you accept yourself with it, um, you are creating a vision for yourself. So you are starting to create that health vision. And what I mean by that is that if you don't have a health vision, it's going to become difficult for you to take the next steps because you cannot connect from an emotional standpoint to what you would like to feel in the future, what your future self would like to feel. Because if you are in that mindset of, I just want to get healthy so I can go back to the things that I've done in the past, or that I can get back to normal. I hear that all the time. I want to just get back to normal. And that is what I thought too. But then I sat down and I thought to myself, do I really want to go back to normal? Because honestly, my normal was not very much fun at that point because my normal was experiencing symptoms. And all my life, like for the longest period of time, ever since I was 13, really, I had health issues. So, on all levels, so I honestly didn't really know what being healthy means because I never truly experienced it. One step at a time. Yes, Martha, thank you. One step at a time. But you have to create this vision so that you can actually take the steps that you need to take in order to get there. And how do you create this vision? You create this vision by going into your imagination. You are imagining yourself as a healthy person, and then you connect the feeling to it. And once you connect the feeling to it of how you can feel as a healthy person, your motivation becomes a completely different ball game, a completely different level that allows you to make changes that are necessary more easily. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if there's any comments in here. If you ever want to just chat and have a conversation in the chat and let me know what you think, please do so. I would love to do that. Okay, so there's no questions right now. Okay, perfect. So let's just let me continue then. Okay, and if my, yeah, I'm just gonna, perfect. So, so that is number two, the vision. Okay, that is number two. Like once you have your vision, once you know how you want to feel, like once you know where you want to go, then it's time for you to letting go of fear. And please let me know here in Facebook, because my connection doesn't seem so good. Okay, that you have to let go of fear. And if you that is a big step to let go of fear. But if you do the work around your vision, the way you want to see yourself in the future, if you accept your body for what it is, the letting go of fear is starting to become easier. And why do you have to let go of that fear? You have to let go of that fear. And that can be, for example, that you feel you're stuck in a situation where you can't eat any foods anymore. You're stuck in a situation where your energy is just so poor that you can't really function anymore. And it instills fear in yourself. And that is normal. However, you will have to hold on to that vision that you created for yourself. You will have to hold on to, you know, knowing that your body is capable of rejuvenating. And you have to let go of that fear and you have to hold on to that vision and then you have to keep implementing your steps. Because if your fear hops on board, then you are very much, very easily distracted and very easily put back into the old train tracks that are churning, like the way they churned before because of old habits. And that is what you want to do. You want to change your habits. And like Martha said, it's one step at a time. And you will have to take that step from a state of abundance and love for yourself and love for your body and knowing that change is possible and change is on your way. So letting go of fear is very important, and you can journal around that and you can do some work around that. I had to do a lot of work around this. Once you have done that, the next level in the mindset piece is trusting the process. It is trusting the process. And oh my goodness, is that ever the hardest part? And I can tell you that when I work with my clients, because the thing is, in the beginning, so you have done all the work, you're ready to go, you are starting to implement things, you're fully engaged, you have that vision and all of these things, and you're giving it all. And then what happens is that you encounter roadblocks. You see some results, and then all of a sudden you encounter a setback. It's almost as if you're going backwards in your health. But let me assure you, that is normal. There's such a thing as, there's no straight line to health. It always goes up and down like a roller coaster. It steadily goes up, but on the way up, you will encounter those health dips. And typically, those health dips come before another major breakthrough. I see that every time. So, for example, I will give you one example of one of my clients. One of my clients, she has had a lot of gut issues. She has an autoimmune disease, but she also has IBS. And so bowel movements and constipation was a huge, huge issue for her. We started to get to a point where she was able to go to the bathroom much more easily. It wasn't 100% yet, but she was starting to get, a lot better and she started to feel a lot better. All of a sudden, she started to become very constipated for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She's like, what is happening? I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing anything different. Like, and what am I doing wrong? Maybe do I need to try something else? And everything like that. And we just hung on. I said, you have to trust the process a little bit more. Things will come. And we tweaked a few things. And you know what happened? The thing is that set her back is that her body was shifting in a way that allowed her to get her periods back. She did not have a period for a year. And all of a sudden, her body had a period. She started, having her period and started to menstruate. And she was like, oh my goodness, that was the reason why I got constipated. And so you'll see how, like you think it's a setback, but then things will change. So it's so important to trust the process. And I see it so often that women are just losing hope and losing faith because it's not happening enough, soon enough. And then they just stop doing it or doing something different, and they are not being consistent. And then there are, you don't get the results that you could. And so trusting the process becomes very important. And you will need to have a really good support system in place, because doing it all on your own is very, very, very difficult. So if you have a network in place that supports you, that understands where you are at in your health, that is there for you to pull you out of the mud when the going gets rough, is super important, super critical, in order to keep moving forward. Martha says, be patient. You didn't get it overnight. The results are worth it. The changes will come. Yes, exactly. And that is my next step. That is my next layer. So trusting the process, and then comes patience. So you trust the process. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to work. It's going to work because, you're giving your body what it needs, but your body needs time to adjust to these changes. So when you give your body new nutrition, like say if you are bloated all the time, and you have done the elimination diet, and you have done the antimicrobials, and you have done all of these things, um, and you're still bloated, and you're starting to introduce foods, and the bloating goes up a little bit, you will have to have patience, because what you're doing is you're rebuilding your microbiome. So with the antimicrobials and with the elimination diet, you are basically preparing an environment where there's no triggers coming in for you to react to, in order to help your body to get better, to repair and restore the cells. But for that, it needs nutrients. So you have to bring in an abundance of nutrients in order to help your body to get the building blocks of repairing the cells on all levels. But because you haven't had those nutrients for an extended period of time, your body is going to have some reaction to it, and you will encounter some bloating because your microbiome is going to be retrained. It's a normal process. So don't, don't give up, don't throw it out the window. You got to have patience. You have to continue to do the work and continue to trust the process of it, and you will see the results within. The second last one is consistency. You will have to create that mindset of creating new habits. You are not just changing things up temporarily so that you can get healthy, and then, you just do the things you've done before. That is not working. That is that makes it very difficult for you to see consistent long-term health. I see this happening all the time. Um, that we have you guys, you get the results, and you're doing the work, and you're being patient, you're trusting the process, and you're letting go of fear, all of these things. And then you start being consistent. You are going back to old habits. And that is when the symptoms start to creep back in. And that is the thing with chronic inflammation, because we're changing our bodies in such a way that our bodies are, optimally starting to use nutrition to help and repair. And you can bring in things for sure. right? But you have to be consistent in creating those new habits. You can't go back to your old habits. It's not possible. You continue to change things up as you go, for sure, but you have to be consistent in making good, positive changes for your body. And so that's going to be long term. And so this is why I say this new way of living is has to become your new normal, right? You're creating a new life for you. You're not going back to the old ways. You are starting to create a new life for you that is so much better than the old way was. I can promise you that. It's so much better and it's so worth it. But it's not easy. And we all fall into the trap of, our old thinking patterns and behaviors are kicking in and we're falling off track. And then it's hard to get back up and all of these things. I understand. I get it. And that is why, trusting the process and having somebody to help you with this or a network of people to pull you through is so, so important. So that is the second last layer of the mindset piece to autoimmune health is consistency. And the last layer of it is maintenance. And that is basically a little bit of what I just talked about already. So you have to consistently change your habits. You have to consistently evolve and give what your body needs because your body changes over the course of the years too. Whatever you've been doing 5 years ago with your autoimmune might not apply 5 years later because you're aging. Your body it might need different nutrients. Your environment is changing, stress levels are changing. All of these things make a huge difference in what you need to give your body. So it's all about the maintenance. That is what keeps you going long term. You want to maintain the level of health you have created for yourself. That is the big goal in autoimmune management and living well with an autoimmune. And that means that you will need to adjust certain things. So that's why I don't like when I go on social media so much, and people are just, letting you know that this is the way to do it and no other way is going to work. You have to do the AIP, you have to do the AIP paleo, you have to do keto, you have to do this is the only way for you to get better. You have to eliminate all of the forbidden, quote unquote, forbidden foods. And this is the way to go. In my opinion, it's not because like I said, your body is changing. Your nutrient demands are changing. From my experience, 12 years ago, I was eating differently than I'm eating now. I mean, not like 100% different in terms of, I was eating junk food and now I'm not obvious. No, but what I'm saying is that I was nourishing my body in different ways. I was maybe having a higher protein breakfast because back in the days I was malnourished because my digestive system was not working well. Today, I might be having some more juices in the morning because it sits better with my body, because it gives me that initial energy that I need in the morning that goes directly to my cells in order to feel energized, in order to feel as if I have the energy to go. So see, things change over time, and so you will have to maintain the level of health by changing things up and tweaking it to your own intuition and to your own understanding and becoming intuitive of what your body needs. This is very, very important when it comes to chronic disease. You will have to start to become intuitive with what your body is telling you. The symptoms that your body is telling you are is your body's language. Your body is talking to you at all times. Your body is telling you what it needs. You will just have to listen to it and you'll have to give it what it needs, right? And in order to figure that out, it's not easy sometimes. Sometimes we can't do it on our own. Sometimes we need help to figure that out, even though we know all of the things, right? About gut health, about detoxification, about stress management. We know all of these things theoretically in our head, but can we apply those things into our lives on a daily basis consistently? Do we know how to listen to our body? Do we know what to give our bodies when we're experiencing certain symptoms? That is something where people trip up, and this is something that is really important to understand and to know and to change so that you can create autoimmune health for yourself. Okay, let me know in the comments if that resonated with you. Let me know if that is anything that you feel was helping, and whether that is something you can relate to, and if that is something that you have experienced, even, um, or anything that you would like to share around these things. No, okay. Okay, so I don't see any comments come in. Okay, perfect. So just one second. So this is really the mindset piece to autoimmune health, and this is the last day of the seminar, and this is really what I wanted to, bring home and to you guys, and for you to sit with a little bit, and for you guys to um, you know brainstorm around how can you change things up, and how can you start the process of becoming healthy, because you can get there. It's a journey for sure. It's a lifelong journey, like somebody said in the comments, and absolutely it is. But it is possible. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this 4-day seminar. We have officially really come to the end of this seminar right now. And I can't tell you how much fun I had with you guys. Thank you all so much for your wonderful questions, and for your uh, conversations that we've had. And quite honestly, the I still have the 15-20 minute connect call available for anybody who wants to just hop on a call and discuss any of those days with me in more depth around how you can implement those things for yourself. So I have officially really come to the end of this seminar, and I want to thank you for hanging in there. I gave you a lot of information. I gave you a lot of thoughts, maybe to take home with you and maybe to start implementing. We have the workbook. You can always go back to the workbook and start the work and start your journey to autoimmune health, because it is possible. I basically gave you a roadmap. I gave you pillars, the 4 pillars that everybody needs to address in the 4 days: the gut health, the detoxification pathways, the stress adrenal work, and then the mindset piece. So for anybody who is on here and who is ready to go take that information and just go out in the world and start to implement, that's wonderful. You have a great load of information that you can use to implement. But for those of you who believe that you might need a little bit more help with that, I do have something I would like to share with you that I think would be extremely beneficial for those of you who want to take the next step, who are not in a position to be doing it all by themselves, who know all of these things, but are just not getting anywhere, are feeling stuck, are feeling in a position where they don't even know where to start. They have all this information in their heads, but you can really take it anywhere because it's just not working for you. So, for those of you who feel that describes you, I would really like to invite you to come into my world. I For June, I have some really nice spots available in my program that I'm offering to you guys first. And I really I sat with this and I was thinking about how can I make working with me um, a lot more accessible to so many more people, because it's an investment, what you were, investing in yourself. You're always investing in your health. It's not something that comes for free. And I have experienced myself that I needed to invest in myself in order to get to the next level. So I understand that it's always the fear of investing in yourself, especially when it comes to health, because we don't have anything tangible that is there for us that we can place value on. We basically place value on a person who is promising to help us, but we don't really know if it's going to work out. So I understand the fear around that as well. And I really wanted to create something that is accessible for everybody, and everybody who is eager to go to the next step, everybody who's eager to not just learn, but also implement and really get the guidance and the hands on and the eyes on your health, and to have somebody to tell you which steps to take next. I have created this wonderful program, which is called the Autoimmune Thriver Circle. And it is not just a program, because it is basically a health incubator. That's how I like to see it. It's a health incubator. I have been practicing for a number of years now, and what I've been seeing is that there's certain things that everybody needs to do in order to get to the next level of health. And but what I have noticed too is that a lot of women need guidance and support around these things. So the Autoimmune Thriver Circle, the incubator, is basically giving you the teachings in forms of audio trainings, in forms of um, video trainings, and the worksheets and the PDFs and whatnot, in order for you to give you the materials so that you can move forward doing the work. But you will also have somebody who is actually guiding you through your journey, guiding you through your next steps, telling you what steps you'll have to incorporate, whether that's working on your stomach acid, whether that's working on your absorption, whether that's working on your digestion, whether that's working on getting rid of candida, whether that's working on getting rid of SIBO, whether that is helping you incorporating and implementing an abundance of food so that you are going from being malnourished, and feeling that you're reacting to all kinds of foods, to finally being able to integrate foods again, to finally being able to go to the bathroom, not in a pebbly way every 2 days, but in a wholesome way so that you feel that you're alleviating your body of the waste. So somebody who actually takes inventory with you, who takes you by the hand, who who gets to know you, and then who is telling you what steps you'll have to do, and who is there as a support network to let you know when things are not going well, how to change things up, and to also help you to just trust the process, and to help you to have the patience and to cheer you on if that's what you just need, a little bit more patience in order to get to the next level. So, if this sounds like you, and if you feel like, oh my goodness, I wish I could do this because I really want to get my health back, I really want to create a healthy life for myself, right? I get it, because I was in that position. And let me tell you, it is not fun to be in that position fully inflamed all the time. I mean, life is not the same. You're basically, I was just existing with my autoimmune. I wasn't living with it, but I wanted to live with it. And now that basically my autoimmune is in permanent remission, I can see the stark difference of not only how your health is, honestly, like keeping you healthy from a symptom perspective, but how doors open for you in this world, had the opportunities that you're starting to experience, new experiences that you've never thought of coming towards you if you're feeling healthy. So really, there is no price tag on being healthy. There isn't, right? Because health is all that we got. But I understand, of course, that investing in yourself is always it's always, fearful a little bit because you don't know what you're getting and all of these things. So the incubator program has all of these components, the four pillars that we just talked about in the past 4 days are all on my practitioner platform with specific action steps that you have to take or will have to take um, in a certain strategy to get you to the next level, all four pillars. And on the other side, on the support pillar, there is me. There's me, and I have a wonderful other nutritionists working with me. Both of us, we are guiding you through the material and we are sitting with you and we are letting you know which next steps you'll take. And not only that, but you will also be immersed into a wonderful community of women that are all doing the same work. It's a very positive community, and we have weekly community calls. So you will come to our weekly community calls if you want to. If you can't make it, that's okay. There's always replays. Come to our community calls, Q&A. There's going to be extra coaching. There's going to be hot seats for you where you get specific coaching for a certain amount of time from me on your next steps. So it's a very powerful structure that I have created because you get the material in one spot, you get my support and accountability in another spot, and you have the community part to it as well. So it's a really wholesome, rounded experience that will definitely help you move your health forward if you let it. So the reason why I have decided to create it that way is because I want to give women the flexibility of number one, getting their feet wet if they have never invested in themselves. And number two is to be flexible enough to be in charge of how long they want to work on their health with somebody because of financial issues or because of time issues or because of whatever other things come up in your life. There's always the opportunity to continue or to stop. So you're not being locked in into a 6 month or year long commitment or 3 month commitment, even though you can if you want to, if you know that you need that extra time, which I always say, we all need time. Body takes time to repair and restore. But you can go on a month to month basis. It's almost like a re-enrollment for on a month to month basis. You can say, I want to start today and I'm going to pay for a month. And if I'm happy with what I'm seeing and if I'm happy with where I'm going, I'm going to continue on a month to month basis until I hit my goals. You can stay with us for a month. You can stay with us for 3 months. You can stay with us for 6 months or for a year or forever. It doesn't matter because the incubator is always there and the incubator is always being updated on a regular basis. It's always running. We're always there to support you. There's always things that you have to work on. So this is what I'm offering to you today. And I am very happy that I'll be able to accept a number of people, women into this community. So let me know if that is something that might be of interest to you. I also, of course, have my one-on-one VIP high touch clients that also get the 60-minute consultation bi-weekly with me. So of course there is a difference in price, right? Because or investment because for the one-on-one, like I'm giving you my time, my personal time, and my coaching, and very specifically every 2 weeks. So I will give you the pricing information because I think that is something everybody is always interested in. And I have priced it in such a way that it's accessible for everyone, regardless of where you're at. And you can go to the next level up and pay more, of course, if you want more support. So the basic investment of being incorporated into the community, having the incubator and having me on your side in forms of, in terms of one-on-one, sorry, text messaging and, Monday to Friday support by chat. I'm always there. I'm always responding. I'm always answering questions to all of my clients all the time. But without the coaching call, without the one-on-one 60-minute coaching call, that is the foundation of it. And this is the investment for that is 244 US dollars only. And that is on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, that's $244 on a monthly basis for a whole month of work that you do, support that you get, and extra teaching and trainings inside the community that you're getting. If you want to upgrade, if you say that is amazing, but I think I really need the hand holding and the high touch, the one-on-one session with me, so we can dig a little deeper, like in a one-on-one conversation, and you get a customized plan for yourself, you can upgrade. You can upgrade and include the one hour monthly session with me, which will then, increase the price to $349. Okay. So that is still amazing, giving the amount of support and tools and strategies that you get to implement. So that is the next level. And even if that is not enough for you, if you say, okay, I really need to get out of my situation and I am willing to invest in myself over a period of time. And I'm willing to do that because I know that I need the help so I can actually start to create the life that I want. Then you can go into the high touch one-on-one consultations with me, which you will get everything else. You will get the entire incubator materials and everything. You can work through this just like everybody else. However, you will get a bi-weekly 1 hour consultation with me. The only thing with the one-on-one is that I don't take clients less than 4 months at a time, because I know that it takes at least 4 months for you to start seeing really some leaps in your health. I would say on average, after it takes about 3 months, if you do the right things, it takes about 3 months for you to start to see breakthroughs, first results, feeling, oh my goodness, something is shifting in my body. After 4 months, you will see good results. And that is when you then start to keep implementing and keep maintaining and keep working on it. So the minimum that I stay with my one-on-one clients is 4 months minimum. And the investment in that, of course, is higher than the other investments at 550 US dollars a month. So you have three different options to be able to move your health forward. And there's something for everybody in there. And I'm so happy to be delivering this to you because I know it can change the trajectory of your life. It can actually very quickly lead to breakthroughs and transformation. So if you have been stuck in that cycle of knowing all of these things and doing all of these random things, the supplementation and the different diets, and you're still stuck because you just really don't know how to do it, I truly invite you to come join me to help you get to the other side. So the doors are open. I will drop the link to my calendar into the comments, as well as the page with more information on my program. And then you can take a look and book yourself in for a call if that is something that has been on your mind. Again, I thank you so much, everybody, for the past 4 days. It was a wonderful experience. I will have another bonus session tomorrow, which is a Q&A. I will be answering all of the questions that came in over the past 3 to 4 days. And I will be then, come on and ask the questions. You're very welcome, Martha. Have a great day too. And I will see you again tomorrow. And again, my calendar link will be down there, the link to the page. Check out the incubator. And I was very happy to guide you through the session today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I will see you again very soon.